I guess if both of you guys could answer this is a second straight game where both have really been able to put points on the board and produce offensively. And I guess I'm wondering, from this game to last one, was this more of the same, or did you see maybe some different elements in terms of why you guys were successful today versus what we saw last week?
I think, like you said, it was more of the same. The coaches do a great job of getting us prepared and kind of telling us what's going to be open. And credit to the guards for finding us. They make it easy on us. We just got to go down there and finish. And like you said, these past 2 games we've been finishing, and hopefully we can keep that going into Big Ten play.
Michael.
For both of you guys again, other than the starting of each halves, I mean, you didn't play a ton together on the floor. I guess, is there anything you like about the individual look with you guys playing the 5 by yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, we like doing both, seeing one another in the high-low. I tried hitting Steve a couple times doing that, but I don't think there's any problem with one of me playing the 5, Steve coming in for me at the 5. I think we both kind of bring our own kind of style. Steve's the low block guy that can step out and shoot it from time to time, and I'm kind of more of a floor spacer, I'd say, and I can get in the post and do that. But I think just kind of throwing the 2 different elements at the other teams it's good to mix it up a little bit, and for us to kind of have this confidence now going into Big Ten season, it's huge.
Ben?
Steve, right in front of you. Greg talked leading into the Butler game that he was going to maybe try to manage your minutes a little bit differently, kind of play you in shorter spurts.
Yeah.
It feels like that's working here the last 2 games. So what do you like about how you're being kind of managed a little bit to kind of get a little bit more of that point of aggressiveness out of you?
Yeah, I just think for those minutes that, however you space them out, those minutes that he has me in there, I know I gotta go hard and play hard and take advantage of those minutes that I'm in there. So it's not like the past where I know I'm going to be in there for long stretches, and even when I'm tired, he's going to keep me in there. It's those couple minutes he's going to keep me in there. I got to go as hard as I can, and then Nolan comes in and does a great job, and then I come back in and try to do it again. So it's been great.
Michael.
Nolan, you talked about the impact of the 3 in your game and in Steve's game as well. I guess having a few fall, I guess, how do you see that open up the offense today?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. If we're able to knock down a couple of threes, it opens up a ton for our guards to get downhill and create. So coaches have been on me and Steve both to just keep shooting, letting it go, trusting our mechanics, and we got to continue to do that just to open it up for the guards, and it creates so many other looks. So just got to shoot them with confidence, knowing that they're going in.
Go ahead.
The winner. Second double-double of the year. Should we expect to see more of this from you leading the team and rebounds, or just being more aggressive on the rebounds?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be as aggressive as I can, and some days the ball kind of bounces your way like today kind of did, and some days it doesn't. I'm going to walk out here with 2 rebounds and still be aggressive. Like, it's what basketball is, and I know Steve's going to have multiple double-doubles for us coming his way too. So, I mean, it's up to us, how physical we want to be, and I think me and Steve both up here, we want to be physical every time, knowing that we're kind of the big guys for this team in the Big Ten. It's a tough conference, so just doing that and providing the rebounding and all that kind of stuff, it's huge. So, yeah, I sure hope so. I hope I can continue to be physical and do that kind of stuff. And, yeah.
Mark, go ahead. Can we get Mark and then Michael?
Steve, along a similar line, especially in the first half, the rebounding, there was a pretty sizable rebounding advantage, but it was pretty much spread throughout the team. And just can you speak to the value of that and kind of what goes into so many guys being active on the boards?
The coaches, like I said earlier, they did a great job. We knew one of their main keys was going to be crashing the glass. So I think rebounding is almost a team stat rather than individual, because sometimes, like Nolan said, it's going to be me and Nolan trying to box the big guys out there, and then Kamari McGee or John Tonji comes and grabs it. Or there's going to be days where me and Nolan got to, like he said, set the tone and go snatch those rebounds. So I think it's a credit to our team and our guards and everyone involved just cleaning up the glass and making it easy on us bigs especially.
Michael.
Steve, it doesn't really jump out of the box score, but with Carter and Xavier just kind of stabilizing that 4 spot with the reserves, I guess how much easier does it make it for you guys when it's just either you or Nolan on the floor?
Yeah, no, it's huge, especially when me and Nolan are either at the 5 and you got one of those 2 at the 4. They both kind of do the same thing. They bring the energy. They rebound. They can both shoot it. Carter's been shooting it great this year, so I think just the versatility of them and being able to play defense and guard 1 through 5 too. Carter's played the 5 before. X can guard 5s. He's big enough. So I think those 2 have done a great job so far this year.
Ben.
Steve, you've been through the break, the non-conference break a couple times
Yeah.
now. Where do you think this team is at entering Big Ten play, considering the schedule you guys have gone through, and certainly the adversity and the highs and lows that you guys have experienced?
Yeah, no, I think we're in a great spot. We've played some great teams earlier this year. Arizona, Greenbrier played 2 great teams. So I think we're set going into Big Ten play, but we're going to use these days to recharge, reset our minds physically, mentally, and then come back hungry and hopefully go out and get a win versus Iowa.
First of all, obviously happy for our guys to be able to get through obviously finals week and a few days off this week in the test mode, and then to wrap up the non-conference schedule in the way we did. I thought we did a lot of good things, and it was good to be able to play and go really deep into the bench for some pretty substantial minutes. I think that'll help not only those individuals but us collectively going forward, because we're going to continue to need all the help we can get. We've got a long road ahead of us yet, but I thought the 2 bigs, Crowell and Winter, were good. We're efficient. Obviously, the numbers bear that out. Nolan's ability to rebound at a high level, get to the line. We didn't shoot the 3 great, but I thought we had really good looks and defensively did a lot of good things to keep the ball out of the paint for the most part. I think in the first half we only had one. They only had 1 basket at the rim. Lovejoy got loose on a ball screen rejection, but I thought by and large a pretty workmanlike effort. And now these guys will get some time back home to be able to get with family and friends that they didn't get over Thanksgiving, which I think is really important because they sacrifice a lot to spend a lot of time with us and miss some things with their families. So it's important for the next 4 days they'll have, and then we'll get back and continue to try to get us better as we prepare for the next year, so to speak, with the Big Ten, the rest of the Big Ten schedule, and what's beyond that. So, questions?
Go ahead, Mark.
Greg, with the way Steve and Nolan have produced, at least from an offensive standpoint, has that at all maybe eased any concern you may have had going into Big Ten play at all?
I mean, you're only as good as your next 40 minutes. So, we always have known, or I have known, the potential of those two, how I think complete their games can be. And Steve is, I think the last 2 games has done a better job of that, of being more aggressive and intentional with it. And Nolan, I think, is just, I used a phrase earlier this week that he's just been hatched, so to speak. So he's so young in terms of where he can be and what he can do. I mean, you see at that size and the skill level that he has and the athleticism he has, and he has a motor. I don't know if he realizes how impactful and how good he can be, and it's our job to help, keep pushing that bar higher for him. But when you have those 2 guys go, 13 for 19 and 15 rebounds, that's good production from those 2 guys in 21 minutes each.
Let's go, Michael, then Nick.
You kind of strayed from playing them together on the floor at the beginning of each half. I guess, what were you trying to get a look at, and I guess what do you like about them individually?
Well, they haven't played together. If you really boil down the numbers, they played together about 14 possessions a game. There's about 5-ish or more in the first half and 5-ish or more in the second half because of how we rotate. I think the quicker spurts have helped Steve. I think the shorter spurts have helped Steve. And some of it's lineup dependent on who we're defending. If we're not seeing 2 bigs, even if we are, I can use Gilmore. Gilmore's good enough to handle another big, but different combinations. Trying to get Xavier in there with one or the other. I'd like to get him with Steve just because of Steve's physicality. But I think we don't get back to the starting rotation with those 2 together very often until the start of the second half, just because of, like I said, I wanted intentionally to play Steve in shorter spurts, and that means playing Steve less. If he can be more impactful in less minutes, then that's the route to go.
Nick, go ahead.
Hey, Greg, you touched on kind of the defense around the rim. From two as a whole, only about 30% from the field for them, almost no second chance points. Just what stood out on that end as a whole, and how did it propel you guys forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you've heard me talk about the analytics a lot in terms of long twos, non-rim twos, and you're trying to prevent rim twos and you're preventing threes as much as you can. I thought number 8, we had some stare downs on us. We dropped our hands a few times on him and didn't make him put the ball on the floor. But I think other than that, I think we did a decent job on the perimeter of contesting threes and putting pressure on the ball. But yeah, forcing as many long or mid-range twos as possible. And they're a team that shoots a lot of mid-range. Just looking at their games leading into today and even looking at the halftime shot chart, like I mentioned, we had one, Lovejoy got to the rim once. And other than that, everything was mid-range and threes. So we're able to protect the rim. And I think it pours into the philosophy behind what we've been talking about with our team, and that's what you do offensively. Obviously, you're flipping that defensively. So I think they understand now the importance of it, because I hear them talking about it even in live action. The guys that are on the bench when there's a mid-range shot taken, or we didn't take. I don't know if we took any. I haven't seen the final. We didn't in the first half. I haven't seen the final stat or the shot chart yet, post game. But they're starting to realize it, and they're smart. And I think we show them the numbers and show them the production behind that and the reasons why and the science behind it, so to speak, without getting too deep in the weeds with them and confusing them. But now they're starting. We've had enough sample size that they see the benefits of what we're trying to accomplish.
Michael?
Going back to the two bigs, is the ceiling at all higher if you could find a way to, I guess, Steve and Nolan playing together be your best lineup, and they really kind of find the synergy together?
Again, I'll go back to, I've got all the lineup numbers. They haven't played that as much together as you would think they have. And because they're 2 7-footers, and I don't have another 7-footer that's ready to, I can't roll another guy through with them right now. I mean, Greppy is making progress, but I think staying more mobile at the 4, and Nolan can do that. He's the only 7-footer that can play the 4 that I have right now. The other 2 guys are 5s, and I think the numbers again behind Gilmore in the lineup makes us good on both ends. I mean, it's people, you don't look at the stat sheet and say that. You look at the lineup production when he's on the floor. Defensively, it's good. Offensively, it's good. And it doesn't have to be him scoring. It's the movement and the pace we play with, his ability to get to the glass, do some things. So it's deeper. There's more reasons behind it than, we have 2 7-footers on the floor. That's good in certain situations, but you don't see a lot of 7-foot lineups. And we saw one with Michigan, but and we're continuing. I think they're getting better at finding each other in the high-low. And that's something we've continued to emphasize, that they got to be brave enough to throw it. And, we did today. And I thought we threw one early in the second half. I thought Steve actually got a foul, but it was a foul on the defender for holding him. But having the confidence and the understand, I'm not going to get upset if you happen to whistle one out of bounds there or something happens. I want them looking for that quickly within what we're doing offensively for that big-to-big stuff as we play through the possession.
Mark?
Blackwell tied his career high for assists today. 4 of those came in the first half, and a lot of them they were either layups or dunks. I'm just curious, what are you seeing in terms of him just being able to create opportunities for other guys? Yeah,
I think he's getting more comfortable and being a distributor and more complete in his game than just being a scorer. And we've challenged him with that he's got to continue to do all those other things that he did last year that got him on the floor. Now his role has grown and changed, but don't lose sight of what got you there last year, on the floor early, and that was the defending, the rebounding, just being really, really solid. I think he can be even a better defender than what he is, but he's got a lot on his plate, in terms of what we've asked of him. And I think the last 2 games we've seen high assist numbers, no turnovers. So that's something we talked about after Illinois. He had no assist, And if the ball in his hands that much, that can't happen. And some of it's on guys making shots, but it's also him understanding the scope that he has to play with and finding guys, and still your own offense is there at times, but his ability to attack and find people. And part of that goes back to Nick's question, the analytics of not taking as many mid-range, getting yourself deeper in the paint. You're going to have more kick-out threes. You're going to have more drops to the floor to bigs or lobs at the rim, and then your finish rate yourself is going to go up. So if you can minimize a lot of that middle part of the floor stuff, it's going to help all parts of your game. And I think John's a recipient of that at times.
Ben.
Tanji's efficiency has kind of dropped over the course of the last 5-6 games. I know you've talked about him playing off 2 feet. Is there something that you can kind of pinpoint beyond that he's just his shot selection? Is it something else that just isn't?
No, I haven't been. He took one. He had some turnover. Obviously, I think he led us in turnovers today. But the biggest thing is playing off 2 feet, Ben. That's when he does it. Even in practice, when he does it, he's really efficient. He gets fouled. When he doesn't, we see the results. So what we see in a game is the same stuff we see in practice. And, we got to, like I've told him, we have a short window here to get you a better habit in that part of your game. I don't have 4 years to work with him to really build a habit. We got to do it in a short order. And so for him, the credit to him is that he's receptive, and he knows it. But he's done it off 1 foot for so long that he's never been, and this is the highest level he's played at. So there's a combination of things. He's got to get better at it. He's got to understand scouting reports are out now. He's not sneaking up on anybody. So continue to work on the efficiency piece of it and pick your spots. I thought him getting to the free throw line tonight early in the first half got him some confidence, got him in a good spot to make the next shot, which was a 3 on the left side. So understanding how that part of your game of if you're scuffling a little bit, trying to find your rhythm, trying to get on track, go get fouled. You're going to get fouled if you play off 2 feet more often. And then the very next possession, bang, he had a left side 3. So you just got to keep giving him sample sizes and experience and point those things out. When good things happen, here's why it happened. So we need him to continue to be more efficient. And that's something as we want to, if this team's going to really reach a high level, we have to have him at a high level more consistently.
One more question for Coach. Go ahead, Michael.
Jack Janicki led you guys in blocks today. I guess, what has he proven as a defender to this
Well,
point?
he got behind on some ball screens. That's why he ended up blocking the shot. He crashed into a couple of them. One of them was a back. Second half one he was coming from the backside. But, guys love playing with him, because he makes the right play. He covers up. He does a lot of the little simple stuff that makes us better in the backcourt that Gilmore does in the front court. He's not going to blow you away with the stat sheet, but the other players understand he's one of the first guys in pickup games. He's one of the first guys picked because of how he moves the ball and how he always makes the right play. And you see he's way more athletic than people think he is, and he's given credit for. He just plays hard. I think it's not always perfect, but when you play hard, you can cover up for any other miscues. So he played hard, and even though he got burnt on a ball screen, he was able to recover and like I said, make the play on the ball. So usually when he's in the game, a lot of good things happen if you watch closely enough.